You fucker.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Thank you. All right, let's start the show and then you can take the piss out of me. This is Trail Talk
No,
every week. I'm your host, Aaron Shimmons.
and I'm Ricki Wynne.
And it's good to see you, Ricky. It's good to see you after a week off. A week where you were poorly as well.
Mm,
So
mm.
we're back for another Trail Talk. We skipped a week, just like you skipped good few runs, and we'll get into that. But yes, thanks for wearing the little party piece on your head. I love it. It's reminiscent a little bit to how the elf hat went on your head at Christmas. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it looks good.
I thought it was needed. It was needed. We missed a week. We're celebrating your birthday. Trail Talk is live, and it's your birthday.
I thought you were gonna sing a song, mate. If
Yeah.
anyone's listening on Spotify or Apple, you got to go video mode to see Ricky in a little party hat, and you've got to go video mode to see this. Do you want to see my present?
Yeah, let's go. Uh, Okay.
Whenever I was home, I said to Mom that I wanted one of the hens that you put your eggs in.
Ah. And
So
how did you get it?
that's what I
How did?
got.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Okay,
I'm a
okay.
simple man with simple pleasures.
Yeah, yeah.
If
I will say, Aaron Simmons bought me. This is for all the viewers and all the listeners. Aaron bought me a soda stream for my birthday, and I swear to God, it's one of the best presents I ever got. I don't like presents. I hate presents, and that's probably the best present I ever got. I'm actually drinking out of it right now. Like, so I have my sparkling water with a little bit of blackcurrant in it. I hate water. I absolutely hate water. And since you got me that, game changer, man.
Well, I just thought that it would be better if Ricky kept showing up hydrated. So I knew whenever we were in Chamonix, you were loving the sparkling water from a man that doesn't really drink.
Yeah,
Like you go, I think we were in the Moors one day, 3 hours, and you come home with water in your 500 ml soft flask.
sure. The last meetup, I didn't even bring a bottle of water with me,
It was
and
wet
we
enough
were.
outside, you didn't need to
Yeah,
drink.
I was saying, it's like, I said it's that wet. I can stick my tongue out if I get thirsty, and there was plenty of water around. There was plenty of water around if I needed it.
And this is another present. It's a Belfast mug. So you've got
Oh
the
yeah,
shipyard
class.
cranes and the big fish, and I think that's the Titanic building.
That's the Titanic, yeah, and then they're the famous like the shipyard cranes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that was waiting for me. I'm not a present person. I'm not a birthday person. Like I was I kind of explain it like I prefer to walk into a room and not be noticed. I'm that sort of person. Like I'm like I just rather like walk in and do my thing rather than like happy birthday. Like it's not I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's nothing to do with the age. I was like that as a kid. I was like that at
Yeah.
20. One of my brothers is like that. I couldn't tell you what the middle brother's like, but I know my oldest brother who is quite similar to me. He's the same. We don't like fuss. My dad doesn't like fuss. My granddad didn't like fuss. We're like no fuss.
I think it's an Irish thing too. I think it is. I think we're similar that way. I think so anyway.
Is that how you would be?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like I get a lot of stick from Trina like because they do birthdays and celebrate all these things, and I don't like celebrating those things. I don't like birthdays. I don't like getting presents. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I nearly feel uncomfortable getting presents.
Well, like my wife, Sarah, she would love like if she was turning 40 or something or whatever, like a major birthday, she would love like see a surprise party. She'd be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." She would just absolutely love that. Me, I would want to die and be pushed into a wee cave before before I would have a surprise birthday party. I would absolutely hate that. Like I might
Yeah.
have fun if I was there, but I hate the idea of it. I don't
Yeah.
like the fuss.
Yeah, exactly. Same, same, same.
All right, well, we can't talk about birthday celebrations all through the show, so let's move it on. This is Trail Talk, news and banter, training, whatever we want to talk about, we'll talk about it in our way. And we've got a lot to catch up on. You had some
Mm.
time off training. I had a race. We
Yeah.
had we had a load of questions submitted for the last show, so we got to tackle those questions and a lot of other stuff. But I think I'd love to start off and hear like how what let's hear about your training because you had how many days off did you have? You had like a bit of a cold or a flu or something.
I had seven. I had
7 days off.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
mental. Like people would find
yeah.
that hard to think like Ricki had 7 days off.
Yeah, it's crazy. In fairness, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to just fly over my week and then get into your week. That's what I want to do. Your last week, because I want to talk about your race and how you got
We've got
on and
time.
how it went for you. Yeah, exactly. But we'd say my week just was a shit show. But look, I I felt like I was coming down with something. You know the way, like, this little telltale signs. I never get sick. I never get sick. I swear this is just true as I'm sitting here on the show. It's been about 9 or 10 years since I was sick. Like, I never ever get sick. I never get colds. I never get flus. I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. But this time, I felt like I was a little bit run down. Something was getting on top of me, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm coming down with something. And I think I said to you on the Monday that I was working late, couldn't do the show, and I says, I think I'm actually coming down with something as well. But that wasn't, there was another reason why we couldn't do the show, but we'd say, I was texting you after, and I was saying, I think I'm coming down with something as well. And then Tuesday, I had it. Wednesday, I had it. Thursday, I was floored. Now, I mean floored. Like, I was a very, very poor man at work. I was sick. I had the man flu 100%. The poor me, the why me, the I can't believe this is happening to me. You know, all day Thursday, I swear, man, I was blowing snots out me ass. So I was. And then Friday, I had to take it off. Like, I had to take work off Friday. But then, almost like a full reset. It was like Friday, Saturday, I came good again. And then Sunday, I was better. And today, I was back running. And I was like, I'm just so happy to be back running, number one, but just not sick anymore. And man, it must be awful. Like, if people get sick a lot, you know the way I do see it, man. I just see some people have kids, like, and their kids pick up stuff all the time and they get sick, like, and they're sick every couple of weeks. Oh, I don't know how they deal with that. Like, I was only sick for maybe 3 days where I was like very coughy and spluttery and headachy and just annoying, And I mean, I was over it after 3 days now. I was like, this is a joke now. Why am I not able to beat this? It's very, I don't know. It beats you up, like, it breaks you down.
As your wife says in the chat, that thank God you don't get sick often because you're the worst patient. The same could be said for many a man or a husband or yeah, I think it is fairly unique to this to this sex. So yeah,
Yeah, oh
I'm
yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
I'm a hypochondriac. Like I if see if there's some if I Sarah said to me, "Do you want to go? There's such and such concert on, in 2 weeks I can get tickets." I would think, no, don't really want to go into that crowd.
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
not
yeah.
into the concert enough to go risk getting a cold or getting the flu and not being able to train or being sick. Even the thought of it would nearly make me feel not well.
Yeah, yeah. You'd actually be getting clammy at the thoughts of it, like, yeah, yeah.
But like what you said there about not being sick for 9 or 10 years, that's fairly unique. Like it's a while since I've been sick, but I would say before I was a runner, maybe you got like the seasonal cold every year. So we're going back like what 15 years before that. But then I was doing jiu-jitsu at the time, and you were in like close contact with lots of people, and they would turn up the training with like the sniffles, and you couldn't not get it
Yeah.
in that type of hot, moist environment. Whereas now, the only time I would tend to ever get anything is after a miler, like after a big, big effort. But it didn't happen the last couple, so it's definitely been a few years since I was sick.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. As Trina says, like I'd be the same. I'd be, it's as if I'm on death's door. If I get the a
Yeah.
blocked nose,
Well, my problem is I'm more like why did I get sick? Where did I get it? I'm trying to always like think, where did I get it? How did I get it? Just so that I don't get it again. You have no control over these things, but that's my problem, and I'm sure there's loads of people like that. So you're always trying to figure out, where did I get it? Who did I get it off? Who gave it to me? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go and beat them up. Like, I can't believe they gave me this. But I mean, I could have done anything. It could have been any million reasons why I got it. Just certain things you were at, people you came into contact with, blah de blah. Unfortunately, we all get sick. Like, we can't avoid it forever. So look, I did very well out of it. It's years and years since I got sick, and like that, I have had those where you do a big intense effort, like a big race, or a 100K race, or whatever, a big effort. Yeah, I've definitely had that where the couple of days after, especially if you were flying, I always feel like I've got something, but it never comes. Nothing ever came of it. It'd be just like I didn't feel great, and then I just need one more day and I'd be fine. And that's usually always what happened. I always, my immune system was always still just strong enough to get me through. Whereas in this time, it was like, nah, sorry, there's no saving you. It's been piss and rain for 60 days straight here. You've been out in it for 60 days straight. And you've been training in it. You were doing a few things where you were coming into contact with people. Tough shit, lad. You're getting it. You're getting it.
mostly winning in life, mostly.
Yeah. And I will say, because I didn't run for 7 days, which is huge, right? It's actually not been a bad thing either, right? Because number one, I went back running today and I had a great run. I didn't have one of them
Flying.
runs. Yeah, like, I didn't have one of them runs where you kind of feel like, oh, I've missed a week's training. I feel like I've lost fitness. There was none of that. I felt very snappy. I really enjoyed it. It was only a short run. It was only 12K. I was
But
doing something.
you were half a minute a K faster on that same. Then you've been doing that run forever. Like that's your daily route,
Yeah,
and that's your after work run. And for weeks prior to you getting sick, you were running that in the 440s,
yeah.
and today you're like 415 or something, just like that.
4:15, yeah. Yeah,
I
it was
whenever I
it
saw the
was
notification, I thought that bugger, he's gonna go out and do 20K today. But no, you showed some restraint.
And I actually did it. I did this like on purpose, we'd say. So I went out and I covered my watch up, and I said, I'm just going to run just surely by effort. I want to see, like, if I run at this pace, am I going to be coughing and spluttering? If I'm going to be coughing and spluttering, I'll back it off, because I was dealing with sort of respiratory issues last week where I was all blocked up, so I was thinking, and I'm not 100% over it yet. So I
I
was
can
like,
hear
I'm
it.
just gonna, yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'll feel it out. And then I was like, if I feel like it's affecting me breathing, I'll slow it down. But it was actually like, that was a decent pace. That was probably like 4:25 a kilometer, right? That's what it was. And then on the second half of the run, I ended up just running faster because I felt better. And I was like, well, look, I'm just going to keep doing this. It's only 12K. It's fine. So I'm not doing that and by pushing it, you know what I mean? So I just ended up just having a fun run for myself. And it was one of them. It was just like, yes, I'm back. All right, this is
I'm
it. This
so
is,
back
yeah, I'm so back.
on the
This is,
back.
yeah, yeah. And it's just the start of a new block. And it's a good start, So, and also in having the week off, I had a few issues, I had a big toe that was really, really sore because there was something on the
Because
top
you
of
were
it.
ignoring it for weeks.
Yeah, and I was ignoring it, and it was just every time I ran, the front of my shoe was hitting off it, and it was aggravating it. So for a week then of not running, that was a week of healing it got, you know. So now that's fine. So that's healed. And then I had I whacked myself in the ankle bone with a hammer about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and again, just training on that every day, it never seemed to go away. It was like one of them where it was like it was just always sore for the first couple of K, and it wouldn't go away. And of course, and again, a week off running, that's gone away. Like, you know, so not loading that, whatever I was aggravating there. The non-loading has healed that as well. So there's two things. So again, winning, yeah.
You'd make anyone sick listening to you. All my ailments are gone, just a few days off. Everything, even a bone bruise, takes weeks and weeks to heal. And Ricky, 7 days off running, sorted. We are so back.
We are so back. Let's go, Poopy.
Well,
No, never mind that. I'm good. I'm back. I would like to ask you about your race.
oh yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was
It
good.
looked
Yeah.
it looked really good. Like give us the stats because I know we talked about it before, but because we missed a week, most people won't remember the stats. The stats are cool in this race.
I think it was 52 with 2,200 meters of gain and loss. And I think like the race reported them as like an inner range, but I did, the Strava correction. So it'll just pick it off the map rather than GPS. And that's what it works out at. So I'm happy to just say that's what the stats are. Started off really hot. So it actually starts up in the ski village of Mount Buller, which is just over 1,800 meters. And you go up probably, you only go up like maybe about 100 meters, 100-ish meters. And then you go off the side of the sort of the ski slope onto single track and you descend for 8K with 1,400 meters of descent. And it's basically,
Bang.
it's called 4 Mile Spur, this part of the route. It's proper technical. Like it's ridge at like a section of it. It's it's very steep in parts of it, and obviously with the Dicky quad, I was like,
Yeah.
how's this gonna be? But I was there Thursday, race was Saturday morning, and every day, including race day, I did like the activations and mobility and stuff, and it was 100%. I didn't feel a single thing. And I knew if I felt it, I was going to feel it on the day before the race, and I felt totally fine. And I did like 45 minutes the day before with probably 300 meters of art. So maybe a little bit more. I think more than what Ben, who was with me, wanted to do before the race. But it was good. It was a good tester, and it's training. It's not no goal
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
But the route itself is really epic. Get this big long descent, and then you're down into the valley. And the trail itself I'd say there's like 13 to 20 river crossings. It's actually the same river. Whatever way they
Okay.
did
So
they
you
did this trail, like the rivers just wind in like an S shapes the whole way along the valley, and the trail just goes straight through it. Now it's undulating and up and down, and you are, tracking some of it, and then you're crossing over it, and then on the other side of it, and then back through it again. So loads of river crossings. The deepest one was probably just up to your knee. Some of them were, ankle deep.
yeah.
And then so that's kind of undulating over that like 11 to 28K. You probably gain like 800 meters through that undulation. And then 28 to 52 is mostly uphill. Like you're probably getting 1,000 meters of gain. Some of it, like if you look at the profile, it's just up, but actually it was up and then down or flat and then up, but net up by a good proportion. And a lot of people were thinking like, oh, it's going to be hot, and they were saying in the race briefing, oh, it's 35 in the valley and stuff. Mate, not a chance. It's fucking freezing.
No way.
It was humid up on that big descent. Like it was hot and
Yeah.
humid. The sun was coming up. You could see the sun, beautiful views. And then when you go down to the valley, there was mist in the valley. You kept going through river crossings, so you're always cooling down. And it was actually amazing running weather. And it was only probably from about 30-ish K, it started to heat up. So
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, those river crossings, they don't sound great, but I mean, if it was hot, they would have been a welcome sight. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing like coming into a river crossing when it's like 30 degrees or something, and all you want to do is douse yourself in water, and especially the quads after a descent like the one you started on. It'll be like, get into the water, get water on the quads as fast as you can, cool them down, and then go again. But then if it's not hot and you're going through all them river crossings, then them river crossings, they're not much crack then when you don't need that water.
yeah, I kind of felt like after about five river crossings, the legs started to get a little bit heavy. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, my muscles are cold. And I kind of
Yeah,
started to run a bit harder just to kind of wake them up a little bit. But great route. I would say towards the end. Now, I was sitting around 20th. I think I finished 21st or something. But I was kind of there all day. I knew it was important to get a decent start because I would likely gonna be faster descending than the people that were flying off at the start. So there was a few congas going down the ridge, but I just had to. I wasn't willing to sit in with them because I knew I had to maximize what I could do there. And
yeah,
then people, I'm not really the type of runner that's gonna like tiptoe through a river either. So I was just you know whatever your foot lands on, you deal with it. Just
yeah,
fly through the rivers, and just was steady along the valley. And then I was actually surprised. I kind of thought people who maybe weren't that experienced in ultras, who maybe went out too quick, weren't really on top of their pacing game. I might get them on the last climb, depending on how my legs were feeling. And true to form, that was probably the case. Like I probably dropped 5 positions along the valley, but then I maybe gained 6 positions on the climb. I think
yeah,
I left my poles in 42K aid station and I had to run back and get them. And I lost a position there, but like I ain't running for position. I was just, it was more a case of wanting to have a clean, tidy, and good run. So definitely felt like maybe the body wasn't totally ready for that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I saw, like, look, you are where you are in the season, right? It was like, I mean, I think, like, for the training you've done from the start of the year to jump into a 50K with that much vert, like, it'd be the same for me. If I jumped into a 50K with this much vert, I know that there would be DOMs, man. There'd be a shit ton of DOMs coming after a race like that.
Mate, they were so bad. I don't think I've
Yeah,
had DOMs as bad as that before.
yeah,
Like the quads, they were like thanking me for all of this pain and suffering that I'd put them through. They were so sore. Uh, Worst DOMs I've had, but I got back out. What did it? I had. I think it was maybe even made worse by Sunday. I had like a 9 hour drive to get home.
yeah, yeah,
So, and there's a whole saga about the car that we'll not get into, but
yeah.
but the teaser on that is, look, there's a vlog in
Mm.
production. It's about two-thirds created. I hope to have it finished by this weekend and out next week. Out maybe.
Yeah, it should make for good viewing now. It should, because I kind of know a bit of the story. Well, I haven't seen anything, and I haven't seen any footage, but I have a fair idea of what happened. So that should make for good watching now.
There wasn't much. There's not much signal when you get off out of the main areas in Australia and certainly in the Australian Alps. So none of it really made it onto the gram. But
Mm,
I did have my camera with me,
yeah.
so it's all in the vlog, and I'm nearly $1,000 lighter from the car injury.
Yeah, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. I like look. We won't get into it here, but I had like similar issues when I lived in Australia too, and I ended up on the side of a road somewhere in Australia. It's not much fun now. It's not much fun.
Just sitting there and in the
Yeah,
baking sun, just
yeah,
waiting on a recovery. And shout out to Ben, one of my mates in Sydney who also ran the race. Congrats to him on his race. He came down the mountain and rescued me, and he did the same drive as me that day. So he had a
yeah,
couple of extra hours of driving to help me out. So
yeah.
shout out to Ben. I'm sure he's listening right now.
Well done,
Another
Ben. Well done. Big time, big time. Also, I saw that, like, that looks like a really cool event. It looks like a well put on event. Looks kind of like a community based type of event, right? And then even like at the end of the race, what they did, like they got the picture of you at the end of the race and everything like that. But also, you ended up with a little souvenir as well on the bottom of your leg, and I think that's super cool.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Oh, just yeah.
Yeah, Aaron ended up with a little tattoo on the bottom of his ankle, and it's like the run hut or
Yeah, so just like we would have in the Alps, like refuges or refugios in the Aosta Valley, the huts in the Aussie Alps all have names. They're all kind of historic. They're not actually used. Like they're there as historic huts. They've all got like names and things. And the tattoo that I got is of one of the huts called Craig's Hut, which I'll not go into the story, but like Google it if you want to know more about that. But I just thought like they had like tattoos that you could get from the event, a little bit like the Rut that does it in America, and I thought, yeah, gotta get one of them, but needs to be something that's unique to this experience. So I went for Craig's Hut, which is on the hut to hut route.
I think that's class. I think that's class, especially like because you can do it there and then. It's like normally when you want to get something like that, it's like me with the bear. I still haven't got the bear because if I could have got the bear there and then, I'd have got it there and then. It's like when you have too much time to think about something, you just let it go for too long. Whereas in you got it done there and then, and I was like, ah, that's deadly. I want that.
Yeah, and you know what else I gotta say? Like, see that line art tattoo style? You don't even feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing. Like I didn't even feel it. Like yeah, I knew Maddie was doing it, but there was no pain, there was no discomfort. I was like, Jesus, if I hadn't known this, I would have been getting line art all along. Normally, I'm sitting down for minimum 3 hours of a sufferfest where you have to like grit your teeth until you numb into it. Not the case with line art, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah. What about your volume, because I want to tick the box of volume before we move on.
What do you want to know? If you don't run for 7 days, your volume is zero. Your
But
volume is
leading into that,
zero.
like leading into that,
Uh, Leading into that, like I've had, we'll say, I think I've had 14 weeks in a row of like 100, between 100 and 120K, so that for me is a massive base building phase completed, right? And now we move into SCT training, 110K race at the end of May. So now we start training for that. What's the 3 months? I can't do three. I can't. I have to do three this time. Yeah.
111K. Don't you'll feel that last K.
111K.
You'll
Yeah.
feel that last
Yeah.
one.
So like that, and you know what? It's like this is it. Like it's the perfect time. It's like it's pretty much 2.5 months of solid training, and then a taper, and then the race. So it's pretty perfect now. So the key for me is to just get back, get consistent and get some good vert in now. And like I'm starting this week off very, very strong because this weekend I'm going down to Croagh Patrick. There's a lad that's training to do Everest, and I was telling you about him. He's an ex-Mayo footballer, and
I looked him up.
yeah, really good guy, and he's going doing Everest. I think in March, like I don't know, it could be the 30th of March when he's doing it, or he's leaving. Sorry, on the 30th of March. So this weekend he's doing kind of one of his last big workouts. It's a chance for more donations to go in for the cause as well because he's doing it for mental health. But he's going to do a marathon on Croagh Patrick this weekend, and like I was like going, well, I'm going to go down to Westport this weekend. Trina's coming with me as well, and like her family live down there, blah, 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 all that, and I'm going to go. And I said, sure, I'll do a few with you, but I might end up doing the marathon on Croagh Patrick as well, like if I feel up to it. So I might do it a bit different. Like if they're hiking it, I might like hike one, run one, hike one, run one. You know, it's like, because I'm not hiking all six of them, you know,
Take
but
some
I'll
extra clothes, would you? Take a
yeah,
few
take,
extra layers. You'll be
yeah.
if you do a hike one, you'll not be prepared to hike one. You'll be freezing.
Yeah, well, I'll bring something like this. I'll bring something like this, and I'll have lots of gear. I will. I'll have lots of gear. I'll have a van full of gear. I did think about that. I was saying bring lots of gear. Bring even. I was even going to bring my bottoms, like my waterproof bottoms and my other bottom, because if I do hike one, I know I'll get cold. Like if the weather's bad on Patrick, it is cold, so I will get cold, and then might run one, walk one, run one. But all I know is there'll be serious DOMs on Sunday, so Sunday could be. I'm trying to work it in such a way that I work my week out pretty good this week. That I end up, I'm going to try and end up with about 110 or 20k this week, right? But so that could end up with Monday to Friday being solid work on the roads, and then Croagh Patrick is going to be on the Saturday, and then Sunday might just be a forced rest day because maybe with a little bit of a shakeout or a walk, because I know Croagh Patrick gives you tremendous DOMs, and if you do 6 or 7 Croagh Patricks, you will have phenomenal DOMs, you know.
What's the vert if you end up doing 42k on Croagh Patrick?
You do the maths for me, right? So,
No, not live on Instagram.
there's 764 meters in one Croagh Patrick, and he's doing 6 of them. So you're looking at
Three and a half thousand.
5,000. No, you're looking at more. Are you? Yeah, so 3,500. I'd say it's closer to 4,000. It'd be closer to 4,000 meters, like.
Right. Okay, that's very tasty.
Isn't it? Yeah, in a marathon, in 40k, like in 42k, because it's 7k, it's 3.5k up, 3.5k down, straight up, straight down. Yeah. Like I know I always talk about it, Patrick is so cool, man. It's like there's very few mountains like it. You know, there's very few mountains we can use to train for like an alpine race or something like that, you know, and Patrick is one of them, you know, where you're getting nearly you know what I mean, you're kind of nearly getting like that sort of feel of 1,000 meter climb in less than 5k, you know, that kind of way. Like it's very hard to train for something like that in Ireland, like, so to have Patrick, we're very lucky, like.
Yeah. So you basically took a week off and then you're jumping
Yeah.
straight back up. No easing back in.
No, because the way I feel like this week it'll be me Monday, like we'll say tomorrow, the next day, the next day. That's me. I'm easing back in there, right? I'm easing back in. I'm not doing nothing stupid. And then yeah, okay, that's going to be a bit of a stupid day on Saturday, but that's just the way it's worked out. And it's like you jumping in that race. You're not saying no to it. You know, you're not saying you just throw caution to the wind, and you don't. You're trying not to blow the doors off, but you're going to
Yeah,
do it.
a wee stretch. There's no as like before you got sick, every week it was just a week ticking the weeks off, and
Yeah,
there was no overreach. There was no stretching of yourself. So
yeah.
you've taken a week off, and this week you'll have a wee stretch, which I think it's what's needed. So like,
Yeah, I would call that a calculated overreach, you know, and I also think it's a great platform to start my vert training, right? To get my elevation in, because now I'll have something. going forward to compare to, because the last few weeks it's kind of been a bit monotonous and a bit boring, and I'm just running for the sake of running, and I'm just training for the sake of training, and there's no real goal in place. Now there's a goal, and now I'm going to have a week where I'm going to have 4,000 meters of climbing, and it's going to be right. Let's see how close you can get to that 4,000 meters every week until Swiss Canyon Trail.
You nailed that there as well.
I was nearly afraid to call it. I was nearly going to keep calling it SCT for the rest of the day, but I can't, like, 'cause just in case anyone doesn't know what it stands for.
Well done on that. And I think there's still plenty of entries available for Swiss Canyon Trail. So Trail Talk 20 is discount code. I think it might still be active. I'm not sure. But if anyone wants to join us, the link tree has the Strava event, and you can jump into the WhatsApp, the Trail Talk WhatsApp, link in bio, and
Mm,
get various information there. There's a dedicated Swiss Canyon Trail group for everyone that's going. Dozens and dozens and dozens of trail talkers are going to be there. It's going to be mighty crack. I was chatting
yeah,
to George Knight, who was second at GPT to Caleb Olson in November, and he's got an entry. He's
that's
coming
class.
from, he
Yeah,
lives in Tasmania. He lives further away than me. He's at least another 2 hours away from me in the wrong direction. And he's coming over to Europe for Swiss Canyon Trail and staying on for some more good training and racing. So it'd be great to have George there as well in your distance. So
yeah,
I'm sure you'll spend some time with him and get to know him. Solid guy.
yeah. And he's a lad that'll just go for it. That's what I like about him. He's young and he's backing himself. He's got confidence, so he won't be afraid to just rip it up. Like, so that's a race that will go very well for him. So that'll be exciting to toe the line with him. I'm looking forward to that. I'm
Yeah,
also like, yeah, yeah. Go on, no, you go.
he was racing last weekend actually. He won 50K at a new event in Tasmania. So he'll
Nice,
go well.
nice. Yeah, but just like I was going to say, like Swiss Canyon Trail are throwing up a few reels now at the minute on their social media, and like even just seeing stuff like that kind of has me, now it's like, oh yeah, this is it now. It's finally here. Like, you finally start training for it. You can see some of it. Like they're showing some of the trail, what it looks like, what it's going to be like on the day. And it does look pretty cool. Like I'm super excited for it now. I feel like now is it. This is it. This is the season. We're starting now. Let's go.
This is it. The base building is over, mate. Time to
Mm,
go. The new block
yeah.
is here. That race last week for me was kind of like the early season, like see where you're at type of thing. Maybe a little bit more than what I'd normally bite off by about 1,000 meters at this time of year. But I wanted to just see where I'm at because I'm going about this season slightly different. Like at the end of this month, 28th, 29th, I'm racing the Chengdu Panda Trail in China, and
Ah,
it's
class.
60K with 3,400 meters of vert. I think it's at altitude as well. So that 250Ks a month apart, and then I've
Mm.
basically got 6 weeks until, well, I've got a 46K, then 2 weeks after the 60K, which is a month before Ultra Trail Australia 100K, which is 2 weeks before Swiss Canyon Trail. So I'm super busy right up until uh, Swiss Canyon Trail.
Yeah, all the way, like all the way. Yeah, you haven't time to look around, and then race on top of race. That's tricky. It's tricky to train for that because depending on how you want to train for it, you're going to have to build, taper, recover, build, slow. You have a very short build, another taper, recover again. That's what it's going to be like for you for the next couple of weeks. Like you're going to be chasing your tail a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I was trying to figure it out using Alban app, or as it's now known, Ascend,
yeah.
the app from the Albans, John and Henrietta. And we have a discount code. I don't have it available right yet, but it was meant to be available today. maybe it'll be available in the morning, but I will post it once it's done. But I have my races programmed into the app as you do as well. And Henrietta said to me, look, that training race isn't really a training race, even though you're saying it's training race, it actually requires recovery. You're not just
Mm.
blowing through it like a 20K and straight into the next week of training. So I'm kind of learning how to use it. But one thing that I find really helpful, which I've used for this week, is um, you can build your week based on like probably about 12 or more different types of training. So this week I've decided to do a long run focus week, which actually means that you've got a couple of days off, but you've also got 4 long runs.
Yes.
Lower
And then,
intensity, time on feet, getting your running impact up, which is a metric which is really important in trail running because it's how much can your legs sustain. And it's super important when you think about the amount that we descend. You know, if you're doing 5,000, 10,000 meters of up, you're doing it down as well. And if you haven't built the ability to absorb that impact, your legs are just going to fall apart. So I'm doing a
yeah.
long run focused week, which means tomorrow I'm going to the mountains. I'm sleeping over in the mountains and I'm going to run the next morning and then come home. And then at the weekend, I'm going to do two back to back long runs as well. So
In the mountains as well.
I haven't decided where I'm going to go at the weekend because next week I'm actually going on a fast packing trip and
Yeah.
I'll be in the Australian Alps for 4 or 5 days. No, very limited radio comms, big kind of 40K days with a couple of thousand meters of vert. So, um,
Solo, you doing that solo? Or is there someone to go with you?
no, solo. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, that's
It's,
cool. That's gonna get you a great stimulus too, like, you know.
I have to carry everything, including
Mm.
all of the food and the stuff to cook the food. So the pack will be, I would think, getting up towards maybe 8 kilos. Got to carry a tent. It's actually some of the stuff that I bought and was bought by my wife as a present, some stuff for the trip. So I have like a fast pack 20, which I've used for everything for that type of fast packing. But in Europe, we get to stay in huts. In
Mm.
Australia, you've got to take your own camping gear. So I got a one-man tent, a Hyperlight M1 and a few other bits and pieces. So I've got all my torque meals that I brought back from Europe. So I've got my breakfasts and my dinners sorted.
Yeah, they look good. I seen them. They look really good, man. Yeah, yeah.
Mate, takes care of, I'm buying a wee porridge pot, I'm buying some croissants or some old bullshit that you're doing
No,
before a
just
race.
fill it with water. That's it. It's done. Yeah,
100 grams of carb, a little
yeah,
bit of protein, almost no fiber. Done.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Perfect. And but look, the trip next week, I'm nervous about it, but that's healthy. Like
yeah.
if you're not nervous, you're not stressing yourself. And I'm going off to do something which is, I mean, physically, I'm capable of doing it, right? I know I can go and do the distance and do the time, but there are a lot of variables there. Like you've no radio communication, you've got the snake issue. There's just it's it's nervy. It's nervy.
Mm.
Like yesterday I bought a Garmin InReach because if I get bitten by a snake, that the protocol for a snake bite is don't move. Like you cannot move. You put on the snake bandage and then you're like very high chance, like 90+% chance that you'll survive and you'll be fine. But if you don't have the ability to signal for help, you're just going to sit there in the mountains and no one
Yeah,
will know where you are. So
yeah.
I bought a
Sure. No, it'll be like 127 hours, your man. Like there could be nobody there for days, man. There could be nobody there.
Yeah. So I bought a Garmin inReach so I can signal for help. Look, it's not a good experience spending $600 on something that you only really going to use if you get bitten by a snake or you break
Yeah.
a leg
Ju-
or something.
Just to put your mind at ease, I was watching a live last night. You remember that film? That's what I was watching last night. The plane crash with the rugby team. They survived. Some of them survived, hey. So you have a chance. You have a
Yeah,
chance.
I've got a chance. I might be okay. But look,
Yeah.
the show was cracking on, and we could shoot the shit forever. But a couple of things I want to touch on, and then we got to get into some of these questions that were submitted. I don't think we'll get through all of them because there was a good few. But Curran's
Yeah.
sponsoring the show. Thank you for that. New Zealand Black Currant supplement, amazing for recovery, glycogen replenishment. The way I kind of would describe it is if you're taking the beach shots and loading that up before a race because you want like the nitrate boost, Currans is like that, only different. Like
Yeah.
it's, we would be taking two a day, and it takes about 5 days, I think, of loading as well if you just want to do it leading up to a race or an event. But for the race for the Archie 50 last week, I was doing my normal two a day leading up to the race. And then I did 4 day of race, 4 day after the race.
So
And
four. So you did four the morning before the race, and then
the
four
more,
after the race.
yeah, yeah. And
Or
I think like maybe the supplement might even come into its own for stuff that's longer because I think like Renee is doing MDS, a member in the community, and for like MDS where you've got like is it 5 days? Like
yeah,
taking to replenish the glycogen stores on a daily basis on a multi-day event has to be like game changer.
yeah,
So I think for the longer stuff it's probably even better. My fast packing trip next week, I'm probably not going to be using too much sugar. I'm going to be like trying to eat the minimum amount and
yeah,
keeping the heart rate down. So I won't even take them with me
yeah.
next week,
Yeah.
but I'll
You're not.
definitely
You're not.
hammer
You're
them
not pushing
afterwards.
hard enough. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you? Like, are you planning on taking like a an extra bump before or after the Croagh Patrick?
Oh, definitely. We'll say I'm on that two a day, so I'm taking two a day at the minute. Like I actually had two there just before I came on the show because I had them after my run this evening, just the way it worked out. So I had two, and then this weekend, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that because I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do four the morning off. So I'm going to do four the morning off the Reek challenge, right? Let's call it the Reek challenge, and then just see do I notice that, and then obviously I think I'll definitely be taking the four after it as well. You know what I mean? Whether I take it that night, yeah, I'd probably take four that night. Yeah, that'd probably be the best time to take it.
I mean I guess so. I just took it the next day because it's I would take shit like that in the morning. Like I just
Mm,
at breakfast I would just take whatever plethora of supplements that I'm putting into my body, like 15 tablets or something.
yeah. Yeah, so that'll be my protocol on that anyway. Like I'd like to see do I notice that extra dose, that because like I've always been on the two. I've never taken four. Four like I know it's only black currants, but I mean when you tell somebody you have to take four of them, I'm like four, that's a lot, It feels like man, I was watching a Lance Armstrong documentary the other day. I feel like man, I'm gonna be done for like overdoing black currants or something.
You'll have like purple around the side of your mouth, like you're,
Yeah.
you're abusing the black currants.
Yeah, yeah. Ricki Wynne banned from trail running. Too many currents.
And yeah, last thing on that, we do have a discount code. I think it's Trail Talk 15, but the Irish distributor has got on board with that as well. So I posted a link into the nutrition group on the Trail Talk WhatsApp. So it means that our Irish community members can buy without having it shipped from the UK. Also supporting an
Yeah,
Irish business as well. So I think the guy, it's George, isn't it? So
George. Yeah, yeah. I think that's brilliant because look at it's great that we're able to get discount codes, and it's great that we're able to get everything. But if it's coming from the UK, it's not really much good to anyone here in Ireland because of the joys of Brexit and everything like that, and customs and blah blah blah. So it's great that now we can have a discount code here in Ireland, so that you're not hit with big tax or VAT or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, Ricky, let's take into some of these questions. Do you need me to read them out? Wouldn't be like you to be
Yes,
prepared enough to have a pen.
a pen. Can't write. No point having a pen.
You're a chippy, you should have a pencil behind your ear.
Yeah, but it's only for numbers. It's only for numbers.
Roman numerals.
Yeah.
All right, first question was how'd the quads hold up? I kind of tackled that already. Quads were fine. We're fine
Mm,
until the DOMs hit, and then the DOMs lasted until I think Thursday, Friday, like
yeah.
5 days. But they started to come in pretty, pretty quick. Like whenever you're getting the DOMs and it's less than 24 hours, these are gonna be these are gonna be spicy,
Yeah.
and they come in. And actually, now that I remember about it, the DOMs felt as bad as the first time I did a road marathon. That's how bad my quads felt.
Yeah.
I haven't felt that bad. Like my first road marathon was probably, I think it was like 12 years ago, Rotterdam. And I can remember Stuart and me coming that we were in Amsterdam and we were staying in the old Nickel Hotel and little tiny, tiny stairs. They put us on the top bloody floor.
Of
And we had to,
course they did.
we were coming down the stairs backwards the day after Rotterdam.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Quads were
nothing
down.
worse. There's nothing worse. Like, it's horrific, like, you know.
Next one, ankle good. Ankle was fine,
You had
and
it
I
taped up, but are you just taping it up now as a precaution because you just don't want to roll it again? You're not taping it up because it's weak. You're just taping it up as a precaution, right?
yes, kind of. So the left one is the one that I actually rolled at UTA, but the right one I've went over on a couple of times, small times. So like the ligament, which is kind of on the outside, it's not right down the on the outside, but it's like front frontish. It's got a little bit of a twinge on it, so I didn't want to like roll it again, so I taped it up and see after whenever I was taking off my socks and taking off the tape, the Luco tape had actually ripped.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it, and I didn't go over or anything. And like I've been wearing lower profile shoes because I'm just trying to like,
Build strength or,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What's the point in me running in high stack shoes all the time? Pull out the Kailash 330s whenever the long runs start to get longer and they're going to be the race shoe for a miler or
Yeah.
something. But there's absolutely no benefit of me putting uh, me babying my feet as I'm building the volume. Let the body absorb the impact and let it make you stronger. So ankle was good. Uh, how have you found the transition to running in the heat? I
No,
saw.
that's definitely the you. That's definitely you. It's not me.
uh, I always run at like, not always. I'm trying to run early as well because it makes such a difference. But what I would say is if I go out and run in the heat of the day, you feel dead on until your body comes up to temperature. And see, after about half an hour, you start to overheat. So
Yeah, you're cooked.
yeah, what I've actually would do, there's a lot of like water fountains in Sydney, so you can actually strategically like hydrate on a run. I find that make a massive difference, and it's made me actually feel like uh, if you just hydrate better, you're gonna deal better with the heat. I know that sounds so freaking basic and stupid, but for 10 months I wasn't doing that, and I was just feeling like, oh, you know, you're 80 minutes into your run going, I think I'm good. I think
Yeah,
I've done
yeah.
enough. Whereas just by hydrating, like just going to a water fountain every half an hour and taking on, 150 mils, it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. Like you're like you're how would you say it? You're regulating the temperature. You know, and that's what you're doing. You're preventing the overheat. You know, and you're prolonging it. So you rather than it actually just getting so far that it's too late. Like because once you overheat, you overheat. It's like sometimes your heart rate. Once your heart rate goes too high, it's very very hard to get it back down again. You know, and it's even worse when you overheat. It takes so long for your body to cool down again once you've gone over that limit.
Yeah. And something else that I've done, which I think is a good time to bring it up. After the race, I decided that I just a bit like you, where it felt like I was like churning out weeks, and the motivation was I was struggling with something. There was something
Yeah,
not adding up. I just decided I need to go Strava dark. I need to not run with my phone and think about getting a picture for the gram, having music or a podcast in my ear, and thinking about a Strava title, which is all bullshit that we all do. Like I'm no different
yeah,
than anybody else. So I've just been like putting my watch in my pocket, not pausing it at traffic lights, not pausing it when I go to a water fountain, not renaming my run when it goes on Strava, not even looking at Strava. Like, and the stuff isn't going public either. And it feels like a breath of fresh air. Like every now and again, like I've went through periods where I've run without a watch and I felt it really liberating. And even running without a phone, you actually notice, you feel the how much lighter you are when you're not running with a phone. So I'm don't run and unfollow me on Strava. I will put up the interest and stuff. Like I'm going to the mountains tomorrow. That'll go up on Strava. Why not? Like people want to see those routes and like, it's fun to share that type of thing as well. But like the going out and doing recovery run, I decided like last week, the first run back, it's like I didn't really want to go and run too much on hills because it was like trying to rest the legs. So I ran loops round like
yeah,
three pitches. I think it was like I probably did like 10 loops or 9 loops. It was about 10K. And if the heart rate creeped up to 150, I just walked. I just walked
yeah.
for like 10 seconds, whatever, and then ran again. And I
Yeah,
was
and
like, right, well,
yeah. You
I was
probably
like,
wouldn't do that if you weren't in dark though. If you weren't in dark, you probably wouldn't do that. You wouldn't walk. Would you fuck walk?
no way. Like, why would
No.
you want to put up a run that was, and this is personal to me. Like everyone run at your own intensity, your own pace or
Yeah.
whatever. But like I would have kind of felt weird sticking a run up if it was like a 6:30 per K average, because that's like, a lot slower than what I would normally run. But just
Yeah.
by removing that out of the equation, by putting the phone into the pocket so you can't pause it easily,
Yeah.
it's just there's like a mental load lifted, and like we all live so much online, and I do so much on the internet. It's just nice to feel like running is just running.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. And we all do it as well. We think, even though we know nobody cares, sometimes we know nobody cares about your run on Strava. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at it. But there's something in our brain that doesn't allow us to do that, where you do stop and walk and then leave that and have an average pace of 7 minutes a kilometer. You're embarrassed by it in your own head or something, and you don't want to put that up. So for you to share, you use that dark. That's good for somebody else that might be thinking, you know what, that's a good option. I might put it in Strava dark. You're not recording the run. You're just not putting it up. Your run is there.
and if there's any good to come from this, I would like to reach out to everyone and say, if you have a Peloton workout, leave it private. If you do a mobility workout, leave it private.
Yeah,
Runners only want to see runs, and
yeah.
interest runs are way more interesting than anything else. So there
Here, here, here,
we've
here.
injected a bit of banter into that, but like
Yeah, yeah,
that's my Strava um, most requested feature:
yeah,
the ability to filter out by default things that aren't runs. Everyone feels the same about this, but
Yeah,
Strava is deaf. They don't
yeah.
listen.
But even
All right.
even people don't want to put it up. You know what I mean? They don't want to put some of that stuff up. It just goes up anyway. You know, it's like your little gym workout, mobility workout. Nobody wants to see that, but Strava puts it up anyway because you've started it on your watch, and then it just goes up. You know, you don't have the
Yeah.
choice to not put it up.
And then you feel like the ego kicks in, and ego's part of everyone. Like everyone has it to a lesser or greater degree. And then you feel a need to like write a title, say something about it. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah, but
leave it
no.
there. Get out of
But
here.
I don't name anything. I don't name any runs. I'm no messing. I'm not like saying, oh, I don't ever think about the run, but I'm very good at just running. A run goes up and I'll never look at that run. Like today's run there. I didn't look at one thing on that run. I haven't looked at it since. It just went up on Strava. I know it's gone up on Strava. And then a few kudos come in. I can see that all right on my emails or whatever. I get a notification. But I mean, I won't look at that run. I have no interest in looking at that run. There's no benefit to me even looking at that run, so I don't look at it. And I'm definitely not going naming it.
Do you don't have Albin app or Ascend app isn't putting the metrics into your runs. You didn't tick that box.
No, no, because I actually left it the way when I set up the Albin app. When I set it up, I says I'm going to just keep putting my training in manually until I start training for SCT. So I'm actually going to go and now actually start using the app, you know what I mean, and letting them do a workout for me and I'm still going to be doing my own thing, but like using the Ascend app as a gauge. That's what I'm
Well,
going to be
no,
doing.
that's one of the things I like about it is it's not going bang, here's your plan for UTA, Swiss Canyon Trail in, 12 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. You actually plan each week and you can pick the priority of it's a long run week, it's a recovery week, it's we're trying to build impact, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. So I like that. So like last week, I was like, I know what it takes for me to recover. So I don't need to plan a recovery week.
Yeah,
This week I was like, well, I'm going to the Blue Mountains. I'm going to do a double day. What would it be like if I did like the long run focused week? So I just planned it in to see when it thought I should take the rest days and what I should do on the rest days, like leg conditioning, core strength. And like, okay, grand, I'll do core. I think it was like today. Yesterday was meant to be like leg conditioning, but I didn't do that. I went for a run and did hill sprints. That was fine.
it's leg conditioning. It's leg
Slight
conditioning.
condition, yeah. So all right, next question. How was the heat? We've done that. Best and worst part. Best bit was the descent. Worst part was like seeing you the end. Because you're climbing back up to 18 over 1800 meters, and then you actually summit Mount Buller, which is further up above the town. A couple of times I could see there was someone a bit in the distance. I could see there was someone a bit in front. And a couple of times, like maybe two, three times, I was like putting on a push to either catch the person in front
First,
or
yeah,
gap the person behind, as you do. And every time I did it, I got like a dizziness came over me. And I was like, oh, that's heat and altitude.
yeah,
And I've never felt that. Like normally I would, whenever I've done workouts in Chamonix, yeah, you start to feel the oxygen is a bit tighter up over 18 as you're getting up towards the balcony. But I've never felt it in a race where I've pushed and had a bit of a wobbly and then recovered. And then it just got to the point where it's like, I don't think there's any point in pushing. Just keep it steady. Don't let the wheels come off. And there's no way this guy's going to catch you. And I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
catching the person in front significantly anyway. So worst part was I kind of guess in my personality I look for the positive. I got the experience what that
yeah.
wobbly was like. I'm like, okay, good to know. There's some experience gained from that. Tantrums pack. No, I didn't use the Tantrums pack because there was a lot of mandatory kit. My pack weight with one bottle was 3.5 kilos, and I used a naked belt with a bottle in that, so there was 500 there, plus phone, plus camera. So pack was heavy, but like the mandatory gear
Yeah.
was thermal leggings, thermal base layer, top, long sleeve, and all your normal stuff, plus snake bandage, medical kit, head torch and spare battery. But we sorted them out with a Petzl E-light. That was like
Yeah.
30 grams. But there's a lot of kit, and I didn't use anything at the aid stations. Like I just filled up with water. I did a couple on Tailwind, and honestly, wasn't
Yeah,
feeling that.
you were carrying a lot of like you with all your gels in your soft flasks, like so that like I know it's a great way of carrying them, of course it is, but when you're carrying that much, it's a lot of weight, like it is a lot of weight.
Um, so I used the Solomon Sense 10, I think it was. Look, I've had it for a long time, that pack. It just happened to be the pack that fitted all of that kit in the best. But the Tantrums Rome 11 liter is out in April,
Uh,
and that'll be that'll be the bigger go-to pack for me. And I would hope that that would be the pack I'll be using for Ultra Trail Australia and the long runs later on in that. Is there another vlog? Yes, there is. And it is, as I said, two thirds edited. I'm waiting on some drone footage to come from one of the drone operators to cut into that. And I'm also filming a drone. I'm filming a vlog on next week's fast packing trip as well. So that'll give me something to do when I've
yeah.
no internet. I'm gonna talk to myself. Um, what else we got? What shoes are they? Yeah, so I'm just reading these as they were typed in. So I can't reach them. I wore the normal Sherag V1, not the higher stacked version. I got them for £62 in the January sale. They were a big shoe for me in 2023. I probably did like 1,500, 1,600 kilometers across two pairs. I did 900 kilometers in one pair, I think, and then I just bought a fresh pair for racing. But I had them resold with the Zegalite, which was more sturdy, and
Yeah.
I think they're better with the original tread, not for grip, just as for running.
Yeah.
And they were perfect on this. I've been using the Sideas Trail insole, which gives a little bit more protection underfoot, but also it's grippier. So like if your feet get wet, they don't move around inside. And also like you would probably saw I I run in the Merrill Skyfire and Long Sky. I stuck that up on Instagram a day or two ago and people are like, oh, the insole moves for me. Yeah, good reminder. The insole moved for me, so I ripped them out and I just stick in the Sidas insole and they're great. So that was the shoe pick. Um, are the Victorian Alps trails better than New South Wales, the Blue Mountains? Yeah, they are, have to say. Blue Mountains are lovely.
Yeah, in what way? Like more rugged, more mountainy?
I mean, they're more like mountains. The Blue Mountains doesn't feel like peaks.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like escarpments and cliffs and canyons, which is beautiful, but it's not like your classic mountain environment, high altitude. Like the Blue
Yeah.
Mountains is only about 1,000 meters, but you drive up to there and then you kind of run down into valleys and run back up again. That's how you're getting the vert. Whereas in the Australian Alps, it's literally like I think I read something online last week. The Australian Alps gets more snow than the Swiss Alps.
That's mental, isn't it? Even for me, like to get my head around the Australian Alps, you're thinking, yeah, it's such a name to call them. Should only Mickey Mouse things. But then when you're saying 1,800 meters, you're like, whoa, they're like that's proper mountains,
Yeah, there's like a lot of mountains over 1800. I think the highest is around 2000. Um, yeah, I think the highest is Kosciuszko, so it's basically about 2,000 meters. But there's a load of mountains in the route that I'm doing next week. There are several mountains, 1,900 meters. So yeah, no proper
Yeah,
mountains,
deadly.
and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
not covered in trees,
yeah.
exposed
Like
peaks.
Yeah, like some of the footage you put up, like when you were like doing that side, you were kind of like chasing a sort of a group, and there was 5 or 6 of you, or maybe more. That looked class. Like that looked really technical, looked really rocky and like gnarly, as they'd say. You know what I mean? It actually looked like a class trail, like.
Yeah, and actually, good reminder there. That was on 4 Mile Spur, and I was running with the lead female, Brooke, and she was the nicest ever. So I passed her in the conga, and she came with me, and we were kind of chatting as we were moving along through that. And it was probably after about 15 minutes, I'd said to her, if you want to go, just say, you know, I don't want someone running on my heels, but if we're working together, we're working together, basically. I said, just if you want past, just say. And after about 15 minutes, she said, I might see if I can go faster. You're going well, but I might see if I can go quicker. I was like,
Yeah,
go, go, go. She went. I couldn't hang on to her. She
but
finished
but
40 minutes ahead of me.
yeah, but so polite though. It's so nice. Like
Yeah,
I might see. I think I
yeah.
can go a bit
I don't
quicker.
think I
Yeah,
can, but I might say, well, I'll tell you what, Brooke, you did. You
yeah,
went a lot
yeah,
faster. So fair play
yeah.
to her. And yeah, that was nice. Snakes, no snakes, no snakes. I'm yet to see any significant snakiness in Australia. Probably gonna see some
Class.
next week, but I saw none in the race. And whenever I was like seeing people in the race, passing them or being passed, I would just casually ask them out of curiosity, "Seen any snakes?" And almost everyone said yes.
Oh,
Not me. Is there something wrong with
it's
me?
all. Well, I don't know. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Dante, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be looking for them. I wouldn't be
I'm
looking for them.
looking for them. I want to see them because at the minute I'm running like aggressively trying to find them, and it's a bit of a distraction. Like there's a mental tax to it. I would rather know what that experience is like when you come, how, like I have to meet one before I know how it reacts to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, look, they're like I seen a few in Australia or when I was over in America, and I was catching them early in the morning, so they were just coming out as the sun was getting warm. They were coming out to warm themselves up, like on the trail. But I mean, I was able to like just jump across them or run across them, and they weren't like they weren't going to attack me. But then I ran somewhere. Where did I run? It was somewhere in Spain. Was it somewhere in Spain? Yeah, it was. It was in Spain. No, it was in Italy. I was running somewhere in Italy. I was at a wedding over there or something, and I found these cool trails, and I was running on them every day, man. I was coming across snakes, and I mean, they were different kind of snakes. Like they were like jumping at you. You know what I mean? As I was running, but they were like I was told if they bit you, it'd just hurt. They wouldn't like they weren't venomous or anything. Like so that like took a little bit of fear out of me. That it was like, all right, it's gonna probably hurt. So I could afford to like plow through them, if you know what I mean. I wasn't like when I was in America, I was like, I don't know what snake is that. I don't know who or what you do, and if you bite me, do I die? Like so, I want to make sure if I jump over you, I'm jumping really high, like
And in America, you probably had no cell service either. So if you got bit,
no, no.
what are you gonna do?
And
Well, let
I
me
would have
tell you.
moved. I would have moved. I definitely would have moved. I wouldn't
Well,
have known not to move.
those snakes in Italy actually likely are venomous. Like they're probably the same snake that you would see in Chamonix. And what I was told is, yeah, it'll hurt. It's not deadly, but if it bites your dog, the dog will die.
Yeah.
Like the venom load isn't enough, but yeah,
I'm only
I've
little.
yeah, it could kill you.
Fuck the
Yeah,
snakes.
you need to be careful, lad. Uh, oh, here, right. One question come in. What was the frame picture book thing? Right. Let me show you this. And if you're on audio only, I'm holding up a framed page of a book, right, with a stamp on it from the race. So what happened was to finish the race, you summited Mount Buller, and in kind of Barclay fashion, to prove you had summited, there was a box of books at the top, and you had to open up the box and rip a page out.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I
whenever
like
you
it.
finished, which was only like I think maybe 3K from the finish, but you could have easily like not summited. So you have to pull out this page and then you take it off you at the finish and like, okay, grand, you've done it. And then you went in and you got your finishing picture and they framed the page.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like
Oh, they, yeah,
a
so
nice
they
touch.
framed it for you. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. Yeah.
they did the before and after pictures. There was tattoos. There was the picture framing. Like you had to buy the picture and the tattoo, but still, it's all. I mean,
Yeah, I think
people got
that's
to get
cool
paid.
though. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's cool. Like that's all of that. Like I mean, to have that at a race, that's stuff you'll remember. You know what I mean? Number one, you'll definitely remember the tattoo. You won't forget that because it's there. And then getting that picture frame, I think that's a nice touch. Like you know.
Yeah. And last couple of questions, then we'll wrap it up. Did you get blisters from the river crossings? No, none whatsoever. But I did get a blister on my big toe on the left foot. And people will know I'm not like a blister guy. I never get blisters, but the shoe was loose and
Yeah.
that descent. So I actually stopped and tightened the shoe, but the blister had already created. Man, see if you've any rubbing or a loose shoe, just stop. I was like catching up on these two guys, and I was like, oh, I don't want to stop and tie my lace. I stopped, tied my lace, and within 2, 3 minutes of running faster, I caught them, and they just moved aside and let me pass. And
Yeah.
for probably following them for 5 or 6 minutes, I was going, I can't stop and tie my lace because they'll get away.
Yeah, but I don't stop to pee. I just pee.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, because in my head I'm like I can't stop. Like I can't stop because if I stop, then I lose momentum and they're gone. You know, so I can't.
Man, I can't even pee if someone stands beside me. I'm not going to be able to pee if if I'm running.
Yeah. Practice, just practice, man. Kind of.
Start practice pissing myself just so I can do it in the
Yeah.
race. Nah, I'll leave that one to you. Last couple of questions. Why is it the last year of the event? It's not the last year of the event. I made a mistake with that. I thought that's what I was told. It's actually the 10th anniversary of the event.
Okay.
I don't know all the details of it, but it was the 10th anniversary, and I believe it'll happen again next year. Actually, no, I'm sure it's happening next year, and I think they're actually adding in a new race to the next year's event because I think there's going to be a different 50K option, and I don't think it'll be a replacement either. So, like, there was a 10K at 23. Kelly Angel, she won the 23. There was the 100K Oscars, which is kind of the race that it's kind of built around. Nicole Payton, who was on the podcast, who was second at GPT, she won the 100K. She had a great run. Uh, and they do like a multi-day miler where you do the basically the 100K, the 50K, and the 10K, and that gets you like a 100K distance
100 mile
or get
distance.
100 mile distance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think there was a kids race as well, like full, like it's in a ski resort. Everyone's close by, all the accommodations within half a K. Like it's a perfect little setup. I only have one criticism of the whole thing, and I put it into the feedback form, and that was there was one bar and one restaurant. And yes, it's a ski resort, so those places are kind of geared up to just empty your wallet and not have high quality. That was the only problem. Like the food was not great. So
Yeah, yeah.
like next year, assuming that I would go back to it, I stayed in the hostel. I would just cook some food. I would just cook my own
Yeah.
food. That would be the only difference. But after a race, you don't want to be, making yourself pasta. You want to eat a
Yeah,
burger or have a pizza. Man, I got a pizza as uh my post-race meal, and the freaking dough was soggy. And I
it's not
said to the
good.
guy, like, "What do you recommend? Oh, the pizza's good." And he goes, "Oh yeah, pizzas are good." Yeah, right, mate. It was shit. It was so bad. All right. All right. Anything else from you?
No, no, just excited to get training for Swiss Canyon Trail now. That's it, lad. We're on go mode now, so I'm excited for that. Um, and that's it.
We had one more question come in, which was not really about the race at all, but it was like, what's your take on various trail media reporting on the news every Monday, free trail, single track? I'll add into that Mountain Outpost, Ultra Sign Up, All American, I suppose is a unique thing there. I mean, my take on it is probably a cold water take. I would say like I prefer when it was a simpler time. There seems to be an arms race on for your attention. Trail Talk is not here to deliver the news. Anytime we talk about stuff in the news, it's just because we're interested in that particular topic. And yeah, they can do whatever they wish. I remember hearing James Allison on the Centurion podcast, and he was praising single track and all that they do. And what I'd probably say to that is like um, English and UK and European outlets or audiences and consumers of trail media, you can consume that American stuff, but why don't you do it yourself? Like, why is Centurion not reporting on the UK news? Like,
Yeah,
the opportunity is there. Like, if someone wants to do the news, go do the news. The American outlets are never going to talk about Europe and the UK and Australia and global affairs the way that we can ourselves. So, um, yeah, that's my opinion on it. But this is Trail Talk. Sometimes it's news, sometimes it's training, sometimes it's whatever, but it's always
yeah.
banter, and that's it.
Always banter. Always banter.
All right, we'll leave it at that, mate. If you've stuck around, why don't you go ahead and leave us a review? I love the hat, mate. Uh, 5 stars only. That's all we want. Any questions about the show, stick it in the comments. If you want to talk to the community, get involved there. Jump into the WhatsApp. There's new people joining every day. There's also people leaving every week too, because it's not for everyone. What I'd say to you is if you're joining, jump into the groups that you've got questions in, nutrition, training, gear, but maybe mute them as well. Like I know you and I both, like we don't have the notifications on because I want to choose whenever I go in. I wake up every morning to hundreds of notifications because you feckers are awake and I'm sleeping down here. So I woke up this morning to, I don't know, 50 happy birthdays.
Yeah.
But I spent yesterday in Australia and nobody knew it was my birthday because we're a day ahead. So I got all my birthday messages on the day after my birthday. But it's
You
still
you
my
got
it's still my
yeah.
birthday where you are.
You got your egg basket yesterday.
All right. Let's close out the show with the the egg holder. Look at my lovely hen. All right. All right, man. Have a good week. I'll chat to you
Yeah.
soon.
Peace.
Peace.